Welcome to the second episode of the Brewing A Storm podcast. I am, of course, your host, Charles Storm, and joining me on this very, very special episode 2 is none other than Johnny Hazard. Welcome, Johnny.
Hola. Hey, how you doing, man? It's an honor to be here on my very first podcast, and pretty much everyone knew me as the hazardous one, to the Sovereign of Devastation, to now the crazy bastard, El Bastardo. So everyone will now know what I am about. So, yeah.
Well, very, very interesting introduction, but let's get straight into the questions, shall we?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to start off with a little bit of a tamer question, as I don't believe we should go right into our main questions. But let's start off with this very simple one. How are you doing today, Johnny?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It was a good day. I'm just, chilling and obviously just being me, I guess.
Alright, well, then let's begin. So, let's start off with this question, and that's, who, in your opinion, are some of the top cause in the community right now?
Who is my favorite call wrestler / female within the community? Jesus, there's a lot. There's a lot I could mention. Maxwell Verdi to Heraldry to there's a lot of people, but for one person that I knew that grew up to be the top star now within Valor, which is Elena Brooklyn.
Ah.
Because when I saw her character in a competitive league that we used to be a part of, which is kind of stupid with these other wrestlers, but I just knew that she has the potential. She has the character, she has the finesse, she has everything. And I told her, I proved her wrong, that she is going to be one of the top stars in Valor today. And now she's in Valor, so yeah.
Is there anybody else besides
Elena? I would say Riccardo Machiavelli, Rosa, Michael Kelly Clark, Jay Turner, Tyler Wolf, Alexander Henry, just top stars that I can tell they have full potential of it.
Well,
So,
didn't hear my name in there, so I guess I'm not full of potential. I see how it is. Don't worry about it.
you're full potential.
This
I'm
is my
so
this
close
is my
with
full
it.
potential. This is my full potential. I have nothing left. That's what you're saying. I've achieved my apex
No.
already. I've achieved the peak from my career. It only goes down from here. I understand. Okay, I see how it is, Johnny. All right. So, let's continue with the top trend. What is your favorite moment of your career?
Jesus, there's a lot of moments I've done. Jesus. I would say my favorite moment that will forever be in my heart was when Chase Dunn offered me an opportunity to be a part in such a dominant stable known as Legion. That moment to just literally be with Chase and not only just learn with Ghost, with Elias Monet, with other members of it, it's a pleasure. It was a pleasure being a part of such a dominant stable known as Legion. That's literally my favorite moment.
Speaking of Ghost, can we talk about why we never saw him in FOW? As obviously, the rest of Legion did debut.
Well, the thing with Ghost is that he has done some stuff that he should never done, within the community, basically. He basically called out on everybody for what they did to his character. Supposedly, he told me that they changed his full character moveset to make it as Neville. For what I've heard, I'm not saying this is legitimate because I don't know if that's real. I was never a part of the community at the time. He straight up told me, and they basically blacklisted him ever since then. So, yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Legion and plans, have there ever been any plans that haven't come to fruition in your career? Like, we obviously had Alexander Henry. Now, on the previous episode, he discussed majority of his career basically being unfinished plans.
Jesus. There is this one that I can say this is the one that pissed me off, I can say, because I put also involved with a good friend of mine, out of character, which is Tyler Wolf. So we were planning to do a storyline within Legacy of basically someone stealing the infamous Ultimate X briefcase. So pretty much we were thinking of doing a stable, and then I thought of that idea to steal the briefcase, so that way Tyler Wolf can come in and cash in on the winner of the World Championship. But we're gonna get to that later. So pretty much at first we were planning to target you, but you say you didn't like it because we were just too mysterious of it, and I could understand in your eyes why you rejected that idea. So I decided to go after, I think it was Casey Mark that was champion at that time. But then we had some trouble away with a member of Faces of Fear. Basically, what we were trying to do is we were trying to scare people and screenshot on their reactions, so that way the revolt can make it look like this scary, this intimidating group. And Gates just clearly went off on us, and not only that, also brought up with Legacy, which it suspended the storyline for like, I think it was like a week until it got brought back up. So once it got brought back up, we started thinking more ideas, and we pitched in on Eddie and even the writers. I think it was one of the members of the Gold Squad that actually really liked this idea. The storyline was going to be the Goat Squad versus the Revolt at World War III. But as y'all can see within the pay-per-view, it never happened. Like, the storylines never happened, the cash-in never happened, and pretty much what kind of pissed us off the most is that he was telling, which I want to tell you, Charles, straight up, Eddie was saying that he was going to screw you over out of the title and then, like, make you as a jobber, make you as, like, a mid-carder, sort of. And you know, we all thought that it was, you know, going to be legit, but it was a lie. And you won the world title at Legacy 5. That's what literally drove us to get, you know, left. And for my return to Legacy, at first I was going to return at Legacy 5, but I kind of changed the plans to return at this month's, I think it was No Surrender it happened, or was it Supercard?
Supercard is the one that just happened.
The one that just happened. I was supposed to return at No Surrender. I think it was No Surrender. I think so.
No
But
Surrender.
I was supposed to return on that.
No Surrender hasn't happened yet.
But anyway, I was supposed to return at that pay-per-view because it makes sense, because I lost my title against Jesus, aka my character's cousin. So I lost my title there, and I was going to make my return. But then I got disappointed that the Revolt plans wasn't going to happen. Tyler told me everything, and I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm leaving. Like, I'm tired of not just pushing me back, like all the way to the back to make it look like I'm a fucking ghost, but also literally messing up Tyler's plans like that. And Tyler Wolf, let me tell you something, Tyler Wolf is a very talented individual. This dude has a really good character, really good gimmick that deserves all the attention of the fucking world. Not just in Valor, not just in Fire, not just in Redemption, just anywhere in general. I respect the hell out of Tyler because Tyler taught me a lot of things like no one ever did. And yeah, pretty much that is what drove me to literally leave Legacy because of that.
Now, when you say No Surrender, do you mean No Surrender of last year?
Yeah, I think it was last year that I was supposed to make my return.
The one
Actually,
before
no, it was this year.
this year?
I think it was
Because
this year.
No Surrender
Yeah,
hasn't happened yet.
because last year Eddie told me the plans was. He told me the recommendation of the idea that it's going to be happening at next year's No Surrender, which is this year. I was going to make my return. But I left because the Revolt plans wasn't happening, and I got pissed off about it. So, yeah.
Okay. See, I got a little bit confused there because I thought that for some reason you were still employed by Legacy and that No Surrender was coming up, so it just confused me thinking like we were spoiling plans that were to come instead of plans that were already
Yeah,
obviously not.
it was gonna happen, but I left, so
Yeah, okay.
everything changed the plans. So yeah, well, I can't even say changes to be honest.
All right, all right. Well, let's get into, I guess, our next sort of topic then, and that's uh, like, how do you feel about there was a little event called After Party a couple of months ago, and it ended up getting canceled, and we were allowed to basically do whatever we want with the matches that we had. I, of course, had a match with Alexander Henry, and I posted it. It was a great match, and obviously the attack came after the match, and nothing came from that storyline. So, speaking of After Party and storylines that never came to fruition, how do you feel about After Party not being a thing and basically being canceled, and your match basically being forgotten about, and your injury basically just being ignored? How does that make you feel?
Ugh. Well, for one thing, that match did happen, and I ignored the doctor's orders that I wasn't supposed to wrestle. I was attacked by Tyler Wolf like weeks prior after the show. Uh, I just told everyone that I'm not gonna let every single fans down. That I want to actually fight against Tyler Wolf by any means fucking necessary. And I went in that ring, and yes, everyone can say I got my ass whooped, but I won the match. And yet Tyler, with this fucking ego, thinking that it was such a great idea to let his anger out and just beat the shit out of me to the point that he powerbombed me off that truck and I landed on my head. And obviously, at first, after waking up at the hospital, thought my career was over. Yes, obviously a good scare. But then, like, the only person that was there for me was none other than Leah KC. My sister, my actual fucking sister, was there throughout the entire thing of my injury. And what do I get in Legacy while I was there? Nothing. Not even a prayer from anybody to make my return. Nobody. And Tyler thinks right now that this is over, that the powerbomb could literally end my career. Well, bitch, this is not over. I'm not done with you, Tyler Wolf. I'm not done with you. I will not stop. I will not rest until I get my final hands on you. Once and for all. That's my answer.
Whew, that was very, 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 very hectic. But, so, Tyler, you've heard the challenge. Who knows where it may or may not happen.
Anytime, any place, any fucking where, I'll be right here. Waiting.
Well, Johnny, if you don't mind, we obviously see tensions are very high right now between you and Tyler. If you don't mind, can we talk about backstage heat? Do you have backstage heat with anyone currently, or have had backstage heat with anyone? We would love to know this.
Backstage heat out of character. I know this is gonna be kind of a shock to you, but I kind of had backstage heat with you, if you knew or not.
What? How dare you? How dare you?
But don't worry, it's buried. Let me explain.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
So I got, but
They all say the heat's buried, but then we get into one angry argument, and suddenly we're fucking. suddenly that beef suddenly didn't get squashed.
but let me explain. Let me explain my half-bit on why. So, after Legacy, after what this whole thing transpired, after you holding that title and not basically doing anything with it, that is what kind of pissed me off mostly, is because, like, for one thing with me, when I was world champion, I've defended that title in pay-per-views. I didn't need Legion, I didn't need Chase, I didn't need Ghost, I didn't need Elias. All I needed is my two fists to prove why I was a member of Legion in the first place. And obviously I carried the belt with such pride and such, being a member of Legion. Obviously, yeah, I got some heat, but it doesn't really matter. And then my cousin beats me. No hate, no hate. He beats me fair and square, fair enough. But then he gets screwed over by basically you, and by that time you were suspended over something that you did, and that kind of angered me a bit because how in the hell did you win that belt through suspension? When you're suspended indefinitely. That's it. You don't come back in the ring until your suspension is out. And you won that title, and then you kept running your mouth day by day, and I'm just there holding it in, just ignoring it, trying to be peaceful, but then it's like, yeah, I just want to whoop your ass so badly. But now I realized, but like a year later, I've realized I was childish. I'm admit as a man, I'm childish. So I kind of decided, you know what, I'm gonna just squash whatever hate I had and just move forward and just talk to Charles and just do legitimate business. So here I am.
That is fair. That's fair enough. You did show up to the podcast. It's a very valuable way to say that beef has been squashed, or so we say. But sorta. But I would just like to fully point out, because this is Brewing a Storm, where basically, if we're not at least causing a little bit of controversy with every single episode, then what the fuck are we doing here? The whole thing was that I had no problem with you. I got actually told by another guy, Mason Masters, that you had problem with me, and I was confused. I was actually very confused because I thought up until this point we were chill, but obviously I was wrong. Now, the whole suspension angle was actually my idea. As many of you know, if you don't, then this is going to come as a very big shocker to you. Not all of my storylines, but a good plenty of them are written and approved by me and Eddie. Me and Eddie, we always basically talk back and forth. I always like to know who I am going to face, what's the whole plan, because I don't like things happening randomly. Because when things happen randomly, then obviously, Johnny, you saw what happened. People get screwed over.
Mind if I stop for a second?
Go ahead.
But one thing that kind of got me is when you said that was the most easiest thing to do. And Eddie, let me point this out to you. My character is not just something it was about to be easy. My character is one tough bastard for one fucking reason. He would literally try his very fucking best to win that fucking title. And I feel like that match of you defending that title, which I'm not mad at you, I feel like that match could have gone better. I felt like that match could have gone a little bit longer because Johnny would have done anything possible to win that title. So, anyways,
that's very fair. That is very fair. This might cause a little bit of controversy, but I honestly don't remember. Put it this way: I know the storylines, but I don't remember. I don't remember the matches.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
I'm not mad.
I can tell you there have been about only a handful of matches in my entire career that I remember from start to finish, and that's because most of these storylines that I get put apart are completely fucking ass. But the few that I can think of right off my mind that I can immediately think of is my match with Cody Hagan, because I can obviously the ending, and then my match with Rob Kamen at Legacy 5, because, well, as many of you know, I actually did that match, so I was able to edit it and put everything basically the way I would have liked to see it, and it turned out to be probably my favorite match of my career. And that's saying a lot. My match at Legacy 5, the one against Rob Kamen.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought you were about to say that match. The Iron Man match. I was about to say that match was kind of trash, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's very nice to have to be able to basically have control. That's why I like my position in Legacy right now. As much as I might say backstage that, oh, I hate this promotion, or like, you guys are trash, in reality, y'all are cool. I have no beef with anyone actually backstage, unless y'all have beef with me. Then I have beef with you. It's very simple like that. I can act like a dick, but like, if y'all get to know me, it's a very, very different story. But we should obviously get back to you because you are the guest. This is just my show.
Yeah.
So,
But anyways, any questions?
yeah. So how do you feel about Eddie basically taking your plan? Because obviously we saw the X1 storyline, basically, I guess, being used against Derek, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct about that?
God, I hate that. Well, like I mentioned at the previous at this very podcast, within that story, because the actual person that stolen that briefcase, it was Tyler. That was my plan slash Tyler's plan, per se. Like, we worked together with this storyline. So the original plan within Legacy 5 is, like, let's just say I'm facing you, right? And let's just say I beat you for that title, right? So Tyler was supposed to come out with that briefcase, being known as, oh my God, that's the guy that's stolen the briefcase. But instead of fighting against Tyler, I laid down for him, and I let him win the title off me. Basically, pull out a Black Heron moment. And I think it was Money in the Bank. No, it was Pandora. Sorry, it was Pandora. So I wanted to do that, but like I said, we left. And then noticing what Derek posted on Instagram of that briefcase, saying that it was him, I felt like that shit was a slap to my face. I felt like that was a slap to my face, not just to me, also to Tyler. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest, off character, he does not deserve that briefcase. He does not deserve that title. I mean, let's be honest here, Charles. The gimmick of Derek makes no sense. And not just that. The attire is completely basic and completely trash as fuck. I'm sorry, I'm being 100% honest as I can. And to have Eddie literally taking off our storyline off our backs is a fucking disrespect. And what got me the most is that Tyler decided to confront Eddie on what happened, and literally Eddie was literally lying to our face, saying that, oh, that we should have let him explain. But Charles, I want to ask you a question real quick.
Go ahead.
What would you do in that very moment? Let's just say your storyline was so good, like, it was going to be good for the legacy and good for the people to bring the attention off of a group, but then your comeback was going to be far back, like not even booked, not even planned. Like, what would you react to that?
I'd be upset, obviously. I feel
Exactly.
like my time has been wasted, and I've been made promises that never came to fruition.
Exactly. I felt exactly like that. And that's where me and Tyler, we just said, you know what? Fuck it. Let them fucking do whatever the fuck they want with the story. Because this story was originally ours, and this story could have succeeded, but Eddie's ego had to literally be in the fucking way. Because I don't understand why it even pushed back so many times. So, yeah.
So, speaking of that, do you believe that there's a sort of bias with Eddie towards people who are more likely his friend, to put it bluntly?
I'm sorry. My English is not 100% because I'm Puerto Rican, but what do you mean bias exactly?
Like, do you think he has more of a favoritism towards, like, booking
Oh
friends
yeah.
of his?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like if they do more stuff for Legacy, then he would be an absolute favorite. Like, I feel like it has that. I don't know why, but I just feel that way.
Hmm.
Because if let's just say me and Tyler were his favorites, he would literally go openly and told us the truth, but to be honest, he just literally lied to our faces. So
So, are you
yeah,
basically saying that Eddie gives the title shots to the people who basically are just advertisements for them, for Legacy?
I would say, I would say, yeah. I feel like it gives them like more of a comfort. Like I'm not saying it's bad, but like I feel like if I was the owner of Legacy, I would give the titles to actual people that I can feel like deserves. Per se, you, per se, Rob Kamen, and if Elias was even in Legacy, I would have given that title to him, not just because he was a friend and member of Legion. I would just give it to him because this guy has good gimmick and this guy is funny as fuck with his trash, this trash man gimmick. So yeah,
So,
like
are you saying that, like, the current Legacy, like, the current roster, right? Are you saying
mm,
that they are sort of all that, like, Eddie has left? Because I remember, like, about last summer, in fact, because that's when I believe, in my opinion, Legacy reached its peak point. Because they had all of these amazing signings. They had, no offense, but they had me as GM. You can ask any single person, right? Any single
mm,
person when they had the Outbreak and Vengeance shit. You can ask any person when I was booking Outbreak, did I not do an amazing fucking job booking that show? Because I brought in people who,
that actually that are like like Rob Kamen and Elias and
not just that, but I brought people in who A, deserved it, and B, people from my own promotion, UCPW, to come and help Legacy. That's when we had Johnny Bishop. That's how Johnny Bishop came into Legacy. We had all of these people. We had Gabriel Alpha come in. We had Big Guns. We had all of these people start coming in, and
mhm.
we obviously had, I was booking you and Jesus and all of these guys in the main event. I had a whole plan for Kai Draven, now Lex, now Olive,
Lex
now Lex
Lex
Aldo. Yeah, him.
yeah, Lex Aldo.
When he was Kai Draven, I had a whole plan for him to win the US title and do all these plans with him. But obviously none of that came to fruition, and in fact, I got fired from the GM position, and I believe since then, that's when it started to go down, because then some of the top stars weren't getting booked the way that I think they would have been liked, because I believe that they thought that they were
I I
more
feel
important.
like in respect, like okay, I barely watched UCPW, but I
That's
watched
fair.
half bit of your story. But I watched half bit of the matches. I think it was one that you did one spot that you ripped the floor mat, and you literally did a move onto the concrete. I feel like that was hell of a editing, by the way. Um, for what you're doing in Legacy, I feel like you're doing fine. That you're doing great. Like you were doing to get the people what they want. But now, since you were fired, I feel like Legacy is in its point. Like everyone is not wanting to join Legacy, which I'm kind of in shock that Kuzoshi, joined because I asked him if he was going to be a part of it. And to be honest with you, I would love to do work with him because his character is unique. Like it feels like he's been in Japan throughout his entire life. But I feel like if you were GM now, I feel like Legacy would have gone better and you would have had more storyline opportunities to other people. So, yeah.
I feel that proof of this, actually, I'm actually really happy that you've said that. Proof of this and the fact that I can do a good job booking is take a look at Supercar at Summer Showdown. Look at what I've booked.
Well, I barely saw Summer, but I saw
That's
what you
fair.
booked, like Charleston versus Rob Kamen and this other guy
We
versus this other guy. Like I kind of feel like that's fair. That's
Our
that's a good choice.
our card is really, really good. We have obviously Cody Hagan versus Duncan Welker. We have the rematch between me and Rob Kamen. In my opinion, the match of the year for Legacy, but of course I probably won't get voted for match of the year because I'm a heel, so no one votes for a heel. It's just a stupid concept. Like people should really just vote on what their real favorite match of the year was.
Of the
And
character. Like, of
not even
character,
just
basically
that.
the
They should
face of
vote on
the
the character. When you guys just start hating on me and not my character, that's when I think you guys take it too far. Like, I remember when I went full heel mode, I was getting fucking threats on my, like, every single time. People were being like, hey, you're a shit champion, you're shit, this and that. Like, you ain't, like, you think you're so good. And it's funny to me because, like, that's
You're
my
a heel.
character,
You're
but, like,
supposed to
exactly. That's another thing I
be
really hate.
an ass.
That's another thing I really hate. I hate it when people say they're a heel, but then they're not actually a heel. Like, you guys do realize
This is
that
a tweener.
to be a heel,
Sounds like a tweener.
exactly, you're not supposed to be cheered. Proof of this, JC. JC is a former UK champion. I'm not sure if he is or isn't anymore. I can't care either. But he turned into like this sort of Dean Ambrose type guy. He has a receding hairline now. It looks really stupid. And his whole thing, right? And he's trying to be a heel, but he's still like he's trying to put it this way. JC's trying to pull a Charles Storm. The problem is he hasn't caught up to Charles Storm from 2017 yet. So so he hasn't really reached it there. Right now, in fact, in the Legacy chat, he was like, "Can someone hit Charles Storm with the car so I can use my rematch clause?" I'm like, that's not being a heel. That's not being a heel. Like, I don't know what that is. That's fucking.
That's a death threat.
That's a death threat to me.
Fuck the gimmick. Death threat.
Fuck the gimmick. You're gonna die, bitch. Like, what the fuck? We're fucking playing a wrestling video game. You wish death upon me? Oh my god. That's terrible. But like, yeah, we obviously have the Rob Kamen in my match. I got Brian the Brain to do a match against Tommy Jordan Jr. I have Kid Punk
to be honest,
facing
I'm
Derek.
kind of in shock that you booked Brian the Brain. I never thought he would be stepping in Legacy like that. So
Crazy.
That caught me off guard.
Crazy, isn't it? But obviously we still have the rest of the card. The card might get changed a little bit because I obviously posted the card in April and it's June now, and some people have been released, the other people haven't been released. It's very complicated, so some of the matches might get tweaked a little bit. Also, I believe that the show is going to be absolutely great. The problem is, as the time of recording this, Eddie hasn't sent me the arena yet. So when I do get the arena, I'm gonna have to fucking make a mad dash to fucking edit and do these matches because
I would give you the advice because, like, if this is your show, if this is your idea, why did you ask Eddie to make the arena? I feel like
I didn't. I said, do you want me to create the arena, or if you're gonna create the arena, hurry up with it? And he said he's gonna create the arena. So I was like, this is my exact words. I said either send me the logo so I can do the arena myself, or hurry up with the arena, to put it bluntly. And he said, okay, I'll hurry up with the arena because next week I have exams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Monday I have my final exam. And then on Wednesday, June 19th, I'm actually going to a trip to Philadelphia. So nice. I'm not going to be in not online, but just in the state. For probably, I'd assume, the week. So when I get back, it still doesn't, because as many of you know, we have Summer Showdown supposed to be on the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So
basically, you're gonna be kind of late, but on time.
I would be kind of late, but on time. That's why I would like this. That's why I would like this arena done soon, Eddie. Please. But thank goodness it is summer, so I do have a lot of time to edit and do all that stuff.
Okay.
But let's get right back onto the story, because this is obviously actually, like, this is kind of a two-way podcast, but we should get focused right back onto the topic. My apologies. Do you think you'll ever what are your opinions on Legacy, on Legacy's current product?
Well, after catching up on Supercard today, to be honest, I kind of like the show-ish. But what pissed me off is literally Derek winning that title because I don't feel as off character he deserves that title. I feel like he needs to improve the character, the gimmick, just basically repackage them into something good to the point people can grasp its attention quickly.
Mm.
And but either way, the show was like I watched half of it. I think I've watched your match with that other character. I think I forgot his name. I think it's JC. I think you told me.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that guy. That's like the only match I've watched so far. So, and plus, I wasn't paying full attention to Legacy because after what happened to me and Tyler, I am focusing more on my character, on my development, just to get better of my gimmick, just to get better of my promo skills, just positive things. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you sort of sidetrack? Are you happy that I re-won that title away from two nobodies basically?
Uh, well,
That
I'm
didn't sound
kind of.
very enthusiastic. All right,
Well,
so
it's
I
not
get it.
that.
I get it. All right, it's a no. All right, guys,
Let
that's
me
the end of the
finish.
show. Gotta go now. Bye.
But like, I feel like I'm happy with you winning the title. It's like, okay, maybe you could do something with Legacies while you're world champion because you're a good booker and you have good storytell taste from what you told me about me versus Jesus, which I like that idea to be honest. And yeah, like it's kind of good that you're back as world champion. But
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe, I might take it off your hands.
Oh.
Maybe. Who knows? Like,
Yo,
who knows? I'm a mysterious guy. I'm a ghost.
You leave Lucy alone. Damn fucking bitch. Uh. um. What else is there? So can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get
Shoot.
an official passing of the torch? Ladies and gentlemen, if Johnny Hazard does this, I think I will have reached a certain point of my career. I think this is going to be a good milestone. Like, don't you think, Zoe? Zoe's my dog. Don't worry, she's just off camera. Don't you think, Zoe? Don't you think if Johnny does this, he's gonna? Yeah. Okay, she's blinking like 17 times because she's very tired. But here we go. Johnny Hazard. Can you do a quote-unquote passing of the torch? Can you say, in your own words, that I am the greatest LWW World Champion that has ever been?
I kind of knew this was coming a little bit. I would say the greatest to an extent, but by off, besides me, you're a better world champion than any legacy world champion at that past. So you're the number one, and I'm the number two.
Oh my God, we did it! We did it! We did it! We did it, Zoe! We did it! Oh my God, I'm so happy right now. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and Zoe. I'd like to thank everyone for this honor.
Excuse me, I'm about to burn my tongue. I'll be right back.
Alright. What has been said can never be unsaid. Alright. So, what are your, do you think you'll ever return to Legacy after what transpired?
Well, I kind of got this question from someone else other than you, but I'm gonna answer it straight up. Like, straight up. Like, you're gonna get the full-on, the bastardo, the crazy bastard, slash Juan David, by the way, that's my real name, by the way, Juan David, that if I ever come back, I want to talk to Eddie personally in a party, in mic, because I want to hear full story of why the fuck did he do what he do to us. And I also want Tyler with it as well, because I know for a fact Tyler will not come back because he feels like different with Legacy, which I completely understand, brother, of why. But if I were to return, I would rather talk to Eddie. because if I want to come back, I want full package. Like I want full creative
You,
approach.
you want the
Like
Charles
I don't
Storm
want,
offer.
yes, basically. Like I want to do my own thing and my own thing alone. I don't want to hear that, oh, what about the others? Because guess what? I was the others. I was the others. I was one of the guys, the first one, by the way, let me remind you, the first one to hold the title longer. I was the second, and Charles is the first right now, which I'm not mad at that fact. I don't even care. But I was the first, and I could have gotten at least some respect to be booked proper way. And to be honest, if I want to come back, I want to actually book my own matches. I want to pick my opponent to do a storyline with. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, this kind of goes into a weird segue. Because my next question was gonna be, what is your relationship with Eddie right now?
Okay, okay, Charles, let me clear things up. I don't hate him.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
hate
they
him
all say.
because no, but no, but hear me out. I don't hate him. I'm just mad at him for what he did and what he thought in his mind was right, which to be honest, is fucked up. Everyone can literally say, even Charles himself can literally say that was fucked up what he did to me and Tyler. I could say he's a nice guy, he's a legitimate guy, quote unquote legitimate, but yeah, I'm just mad at him. So yeah, that's all I can feel.
Oh, that's very emo of you. That's all I could feel. Gosh, guys.
Yes.
I'm very...
I ain't emo, I'm a metalhead, okay? I'm a
Oh.
metalhead.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, go listen to your fucking... go listen to your fucking... Metallica, weirdo. I'm a metalhead. Alright, well, Mr. Johnny, we are almost getting ready to end off this lovely, lovely conversation we've had, but before we go, you've had a very incredible, extensive career here in the community. Obviously, you haven't been here for a long, long time, but with the time that you have been here, you've made quite a large impact, at least on the Instagram side of the community. Twitter's a whole nother can of worms, but on the Instagram side, at least you've made quite a name for yourself in under, what is it, 2 years?
I would
Just
say
about?
like 2 years maybe. Yeah, 2017 to 18, and now like I would say 2 years around.
Nice. So you've obviously had that extensive career since obviously debuting in the community. So now, without Legacy, without UCW being a thing anymore, what are your future plans in the community?
Well, aside of UCW ending it now, pretty much my main goal and my main mission is to just be a well-known character. Like, I don't want to be, stuck home with just one show. I want to actually work with some shows that are legitimate, like Valor, like Redemption Pro, like True One Pro, and now I just found out this small company called Shogun, which they hired me. I feel like I want to literally make an impact on everybody, and hopefully I could inspire some wrestlers that are trying to make a name for themselves. So, yeah.
Very, very inspirational. Now, before we talk about our last topic, let's talk about UCW. Now, obviously, you never debuted on UCW main roster, but we have heard by reports that you've been involved with them, not just in FOW, if you sort of catch my drift.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that? Because I'm sure the fans would love to know.
Well, okay, how can I say this exactly? Like half of the people told me that I was in the development system, but that development system never showed up. Which it was gonna be owned by Chase, which the show was called Aftershock. It was gonna happen, and I was excited. I obviously made a good-looking attire of the first appearance as the Sovereign of Devastation, and pretty much I was set to do a rivalry with Tyler Wolf, which it was gonna happen at UCW Bloodbath, but UCW decided to close its doors, and we gonna have to like replan everything yet again. So yeah, and being a part of FOW, it was good, I guess, being a member of Legion. So yeah. Hello.
All right. Sorry. So obviously you said that you were part of Legion. Now you said that you were, but you weren't a part of UCW. Now, how do you feel about Genesis Infinite, the last show in UCW history?
I know for a fact Genesis Infinite will succeed, and everyone's gonna remember that that was the best show they've seen from UCW. So I have nothing but respect with UCW. So yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. All I hope is that I get one final match in there because obviously, just a kid for myself, I joined the community in late 2017. So to be a part of UCW has been an honor. Obviously, as soon as I left UCPW, I was offered a contract by Jose Carter, went to FOW, tore the roof down there. Obviously, never won the title. Wish I could have, but never came to fruition. I got quite a few main event spots and for a kid who just joined the community, that's quite an honor. What more can you really ask for, you know?
Yeah.
Now, all I hope is, well, obviously once I joined, like walking down that Shattered stage was absolutely phenomenal. It was a dream of mine come true. Losing is just something that you always have to be a part of. Obviously, I lost very shortly on Shattered, but it doesn't matter. It's not about what you do once you get there. It's more the journey to that place. And I guess my final journey for UCW ends off at Genesis Infinite. Now, I always wanted to walk down a Genesis ring or a Genesis stage. I always wanted to go out there, hear the crowd, and I just hope that I can get a chance to do that at Genesis Infinite. Now, obviously, you spoke about Shogun earlier, about this small little Japanese promotion, and how they signed you. So let's talk about them for a little bit. Now, Shogun, you're obviously part of the roster. Alexander Henry, who was on the podcast just a couple of days ago, is on the roster. We have Tyler Wolf, friend of yours. We have a lot of UCW guys in there, and that's actually quite funny because obviously it seems kind of weird because, like I said, UCW is ending. So do you think that there's any sort of correlation between obviously signing all of these former UCW guys like DJ, like David, like Havoc, like Matthew, Aaron Slade, etc.?
Well, I don't know anything of that, which it just got me in shock for the fact seeing these UCW superstars joining Shogun. But I'm gonna just say it's an honor to be in Shogun with such great talent, such as David Blake, DJ Black, Aaron Slade, out of all people, and Tyler Wolf. And I cannot wait to see how Shogun is gonna be all about. So, yeah, my first trip to Japan. So, yeah.
I fucking hate the Japanese. Fucking disgusting. That's where I lost my title. I ain't never going back there. That's where I fucking lost my Legacy World title before I won it back. Fucking hate the Japanese. Those fuckers cheered too. They fucking cheered. As soon as I lost the belt, they cheered. The cunts. Fucking hate Japan. Never go back.
I gotta feel like Japan is like my second home other than Puerto Rico.
So obviously, Shogun seems to be your new home, following the dispute with Legacy. Now, do you think that Shogun's gonna have a nice sort of beginning, or do you think it's gonna have a rocky road before it reaches its true potential?
I feel like it's gonna be a rocky road ride until it reach its destination where it's gonna be. So I
Mm.
would say I feel like it's gonna be a rocky road, but then it's gonna grow to something better.
That is a very, very interesting way to see it. Now, trying to think if there's anything else that I need to ask you about. Is there anything you would like to ask me about?
Uh, other than legacy bull crap of what happened, I just wondered, how do you feel about me if I ever come back to that place? That's if to
Listen,
fight you once again, but this time I'm gonna bring 100%. I just want to ask you this question.
I have no problem with you. I never had. I think that if we ever did have a rematch, it would be an incredible match. I feel like I would want you at your best. I don't want people at their worst, because then if they say, "Oh, wasn't even trying that match," kind of sucks. Because it's like, then why didn't you give me your best? Didn't come here for you to give me your worst. Fighting for the main title and legacy.
Which I
So
had that title.
that you did have that title. Um, I feel like if we did have a match, it would be an incredible match. Probably one of my favorite matches in my career, because I would feel like our chemistry in ring would be incredible. Obviously, you've improved a crap ton, and I've improved a crap ton. If we ever did a match, it would be absolutely phenomenal. It would blow any match in Legacy basically out of the water.
To the
And I
point it
feel
was
like
gonna grab everyone's attention.
it would grab everyone's attention. It's the same thing with the Rob K-Man match. It grabbed everyone's attention. It was it was the main event of Legacy 5. In fact, if you noticed, for the final 3 matches of the Legacy 5 card, the viewership spiked. It was a huge spike. It went up a little bit for the third match, and then it went up a little bit for the co-main event, and then it went up a little bit more for the main event.
Oh yeah.
So obviously I must be doing something right.
Like anywhere, any place, anytime, name it, and I'm gonna give you El Bastardo.
Ooh, very, very interesting. Now, uh, that's all the time we have. However, Johnny, if you would like to say any last words, because Alex had a lot of last words to say. So if you would have any last words, now would be the time to say it.
Well, obviously, I know for a fact Tyler watched this video, and I know for a fact Eddie watched this video. I want to tell you straight off the bat, this was not Johnny Hazard. Like I said, this was Juan David, as myself, how I felt that what you did was very fucking wrong and very fucking foolish. That you could just simply talk to me. I'm not gonna explode on you. I'm not gonna curse in Spanish. I'm not gonna say well, let me or whatever. I want to talk to you straight up, and I want Tyler with me because he was involved within the storyline. So if you ever want to talk and explain your actions, come to me. And as for Tyler Wolf, in the meantime, like I said, Gaudon, anytime, any place, anywhere. You think that breaking my neck was such a great idea to end this fucking rivalry? Well, guess fucking what? It's not the end. I'm coming for you. And pretty much, yeah. This has been Brewing this Storm. I'll see you.
Well, you fucking butchered it, you dickhead. But it's fine. But, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Brewing a... Fucker. You can't just butcher my name like that. Expect me not to fucking redo it, dick.
Okay, do it. Alright, go ahead. I'm sorry, that was That was my bad. So
Fucker,
go
you
ahead,
don't get
Charles.
that. You don't get to fucking end my show. You understand? Doesn't work like that, okay? I bought this fucking microphone, okay? I get to decide when to turn it off. This has been Brewing a Storm. That has been Johnny Hazard. Thank you all for watching. On the next episode, who knows who we might get? Maybe we'll get somebody like Eddie Vengeance. Maybe we'll get Tyler Wolf. Who knows who we'll get? Maybe Brian the Brain, Jose Carter, whoever it is, we know that it'll be very, very controversial. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.